International Scientific Commission goes on Korea for further investigation. Members of the Commission study the cases of plague transmitted by human fleas, Pulex irritans, near Hoyang and Kangsu, and the case of cholera from eating infected raw clams near Daidong. They interrogate the captured secret agents sent by U.S. forces to North Korea to collect information related to bacteriological warfare. They visit laboratories where germs are examined and see germ bombs and containers. In the end, they reach the conclusion Korea has rarely been attacked with bacteriological weapons by the American forces. On August 1st, 1952, General Kim Il-sung, Premier of the Korean Democratic People's Republic, receives the members of the Commission in Pyongyang and listens to reports given by Dr. Joseph Needham of Great Britain and Professor Jean Malter of France for the Commission. On behalf of the Korean people, General Kim Il-sung expressed gratitude to the Commission, which he considers as having carried out a task of great contribution to the peace of mankind as a whole. After leaving Pyongyang, members of the Commission arrive somewhere in North Korea and interrogate U.S. captured airmen. This is First Lieutenant John Silas Quinn of the United States Air Force, who replies to questions posed by members of the Commission.
Were carried, on both occasions, were carried on the wings. The airplane was guarded, as I've recorded in my statement, and we were told that the bombs had been checked. I made my normal inspection as a pilot. I noticed on that inspection that the bombs, the wing bombs, 4 of them in the first case, 2 of them in the second case, had no fuses. I did check the bombs in the bomb bays, and they were the regular 500-pound explosive bombs. It was on noticing that they did not have fuses, in addition to the other information that I'd gotten previously, that I knew, that I became certain that those bombs were germ bombs. At the time I took part in it, germ bombs were referred to as duds.
First Lieutenant Kenneth L. Enoch of the United States Air Force replies to questions by the members of the Commission.
My name is Kenneth L. Enoch. My age is 27 years. My address is 18 South Osborne Street, Youngstown, Ohio. For germ warfare and my knowledge about it, I had a lecture at Iwakuni, Japan on 25th of August, 1951, given at the ground school by Mr. Wilson, a civilian. He lectured on the ways and means of waging bacteriological warfare, also on the ways of protecting yourself against it. Mr. Wilson told us that the lecture was quite secret. We had no idea on using bacteriological warfare at that time. However, we might sometime, and not to divulge its contents to anyone. He discussed 3 different ways to employ germ warfare. Firstly, by dropping the germs by themselves, or secondly, by dropping germs with insects, or thirdly, by dropping animals to carry the germs and the insects. The first method of dropping germs by themselves was that you could drop the germs in a bomb. The germs mixed with dust, which would explode in midair. The germs would be scattered with the wind. Secondly, you could drop the germs by spraying them from an airplane in flight with a special spraying device, and the germ-laden material would be left in midair wherever the plane had done the spraying. And thirdly, you could drop a container with a bomb or a paperboard container into lakes or reservoirs. They should be employed at low airspeeds and low altitudes to avoid damage to the insects. I'd say, as I recall, 200 miles per hour and 500 feet altitude was the altitude and airspeed that we employed. Actually, the ideal system, of course, would be to employ a helicopter. I believe that's all that we're given about that. We took off at 0300, proceeded directly to 01, where we let down. That is, flight altitude there is 7,500 feet on the way into the target area. That's the standard procedure. We let down at 01 to 500 feet altitude and proceeded north to Huangju, about 10 miles there, where we dropped our 2 outboard wing bombs at 0400 in the western edge of Huangju at airspeed of 200 miles per hour, 500 feet altitude. We proceeded northward for 2 minutes and dropped our 8 explosive bombs at an altitude of 1,500 feet on the highway and railway, which are quite close together, 5 miles north of Huangju. We proceeded immediately back to base. Flight altitude there is 8,500 feet. We landed at Kunsan at 0500. At debriefing, we reported to the enlisted man from intelligence that we had dropped 2 500-pound duds, which were actually the germ bombs, at Huangju. And we reported the 8 good 500-pound bombs on the railway and highway north of Huangju. This is for secrecy, of course, to keep unauthorized personnel and intelligence and on the crew from knowing the true portent of the mission.